I object, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm just calling the case first, so we're going to
I
call the
object.
case.
There is no marriage.
I know that. That's the name of the case. FA 11992.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Karst is present, as well as Mr. Shores. Now, Mr. Shores, I note that you are farther back in the courtroom. My court reporter is an electronic court reporter. And so in order for us to make a record of this hearing, you're going to need to be up by the microphone.
Well, first of all, ma'am, if I may, bourgeois nin, NeSe indigenicas ojibwem, Kevin Richard Shores indigenicas jaganashi mug, Makwanin dundame, Gawababi ganikog and dunjabab, Minawa morehead nungumin de, Nindo gitchi da, Ape gish bima daziwe wien, Chimigwich gitchimanadu gigadu o manu gum.
Mr. Shores, I'm going to stop you and tell you again that if you want to proceed in this matter, you need to get up, you need to move yourself up to the microphone. Space has been made for you to do that.
But ma'am, I need to first know if we are actually in a court of law.
Yes.
Under what law, ma'am?
Under what law?
Correct.
Under the Minnesota Constitution in the state of Minnesota. This is the district court of the state of Minnesota.
Okay, so then can you ask me why are you trespassing upon my rights when I submitted the right of habeas corpus?
Mr. Shores, I need you to come up to the microphone or we're not going to be able to proceed any further.
Well, we can't proceed because this is not a judicial courtroom because I requested the right of habeas corpus.
The right of habeas corpus is a federal statute, not a state.
That's incorrect, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Shores, I'm going to either tell you to come forward or you're not going to be able to speak any further in this hearing.
So you're demanding I participate.
No, you don't have to participate. I'm telling you that if you want to speak to the court, you're going to need to be up to the microphone.
And why is that, ma'am?
Okay. I will proceed with the hearing. We are here today for a
Objection, Your Honor.
Motion on behalf
Objection.
of the petitioner. Mr.
Objection,
Shores,
violation of constitutional right through fair and just trial. Due process of law violation. You're trespassing on my rights, ma'am.
Mr. Shores, you are not going to interrupt me again. I am going to call this case. We are here on an order to show cause on the petitioner's motion as it relates to contempt of court.
I object, Your Honor.
I understand that, Mr. Shores. I'm going to get through what I need to say and then you can make your objection known. As I indicated, we are here for an order to show cause. I have reviewed the file, and what I have noted is that the petitioner did file a motion for contempt, as well as, and then an order to show cause was issued on behalf of that motion. I also note that because of the unique circumstances of this case, that while the petitioner did properly serve Mr. Shores by
I object.
that did not actually...
I object, Your Honor. She did not properly serve me according to the
Shores.
law.
I understand that you may have an objection. However, I'm going to get through my record and then you can make your objection. If you would listen, you would know that what I am about to tell you is that I don't believe that you had an opportunity to fully review that motion because of the ADA problems that we were having. So based on that, I am going to make sure that we have a complete record of these proceedings. What I am going to do in this matter is I'm going to tell Ms. Karst that I think the best way for us to proceed so that we can actually hear the motion is to make sure that the motion and affidavit that were previously filed in this matter are served in compliance with Judge Cahill's order on ADA capabilities. Ms. Karst, are you familiar with that order?
I am, and I believe they were.
I don't, and there's been a lot of filings in this case, and obviously I am new to this case, and so I didn't see anything in here for your motion and the original motion and affidavit that were filed on the order to show cause. The order to show cause has been served. I don't know if the motion and affidavit were. And so because it's been a long time, you can,
I do have an order somewhere where Judge Cahill said that everything was sent to Kevin and served properly the way he requested.
okay.
I object.
Somewhere in my motion, in the orders, I do have something saying that.
And I'm sure that that did occur. I just think that it makes more sense because it's been a long time since that initial motion was served, and that I think it makes the best sense that we know where everyone's sitting. I'm assuming that nothing's been done since that last one. I want to make sure that we have the best record possible. So going forward from here on out, we know exactly what's occurred. And if I was having trouble, I want to make sure that any future courts make sure, that they have a complete record.
Ma'am?
So I'm going to finish and then I will let you talk.
But you let her talk.
Yeah,
What about due process here?
I wanted her to clarify what her understanding was. I understand, Mr. Shores, that one of the arguments that you have is that you were never properly served with the motion, and that's what I'm trying to address. What I am going to say at this point is that Ms. Karst should refile her motion and affidavit for that contempt in the proper form, sending it by email in the body of the email to Mr. Shores with an attachment with that motion and affidavit. Do you understand that those are the requirements?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So I want you to do that. Once you have done that, I will issue an order to show cause on that motion and affidavit. It's going to look the same, I'm assuming, as the last ones. But then we have that in the record as of today's date. And then I will set this on for a hearing. I'm going to set a hearing now to address that order to show cause. That way, Mr. Shores, we can make sure that you have all of the documentation and that you've received it in the proper format. Does that make sense to you?
At this point, ma'am, I am proclaiming that I do not relinquish any rights whatsoever just because they are not discussed in the court today. I have not relinquished any rights, my inalienable rights, which are afforded to me by the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Minnesota, its Bill of Rights, and the ADA and the rights that are afforded to me. I demand, and I suggest, that we do a dismissal without prejudice until all of it can start over again. So as you stated, I can be served in a format that is properly according to my law, to my rights. However, I am also demanding a writ of habeas corpus by the Constitution of the Minnesota state and the state in the United States.
And in all of the filings that I saw I know, Mr. Shores, that you have, I think there's 7 different filings requesting things like trial by jury and things of that nature, change of venue. And I don't recall in any of those a request for a writ of habeas corpus. So at this point, we are going to proceed by having Ms. Karst file her motion and affidavit and serve you. I am then going to, if you have any further filings or response to that, you can do it. I'm not taking any action at this time on the order to show cause that was previously ordered or on the motion at this time because I think it needs to be refiled and reserved.
If I may, Your Honor, ask of you one thing, please. If you could please order Mrs. Karst to communicate with me on behalf of the children because she does not respond in an ample time because of, you can imagine my situation, I need to plan ahead. And so we have had this challenge because according to the law, everything that Cahill did is void for violation of my rights, and that will be filed. So are we out of here then?
So, no, I'm going to give you a new hearing date so that you have it here today.
Is this a jury by my peers?
It is not a jury trial.
Well,
Under Minnesota law, you are not entitled to a jury trial.
Ma'am, that's not true. You are now stepping down from, where is your oath of office, ma'am?
My oath of office is in the Secretary of State's office in the state of Minnesota.
And how can I get a hold of that, ma'am?
You would have to contact the Minnesota Secretary of State's office.
Okay, you don't have that?
No, it had to be filed at the Secretary of State's office.
Okay, well, I think that you're violating your situation, and I don't think that this is a proper court.
And I understand that that is your position. Ms. Karst, you had something that you wanted to say.
As far as the communication, I also, we do have trouble communicating, and I had also filed something for a parenting time expediter. Should I refile that also?
I do note that there was an order from Judge Cahill ordering a parenting time expediter. I didn't know where that sat. I didn't know if that had ever gone any farther than that order. That was one of the other questions that I had. So if you are still requesting assistance in that matter, then you're going to need to file a new motion as it relates to that.
Okay.
All right? And so we will have a new date for both of you. Mr.
And let the
Shores,
courts know that I will be filing countersuits.
Yep, and you can file a response to anything that she files.
I know.
I will also note, Mr. Shores, that on an order to show cause, if Ms. Karst does intend to go forward with her motion for contempt, that could include a final order of the court with imposing jail time. With that, you are entitled to have a court-appointed lawyer, and you have, if you qualify. And so if you would like to...
So you're threatening me with jail?
I said if the motion is
Are you
filed-
threatening me with jail, ma'am?
And I indicated that if that motion is filed...
Okay,
and
I'm leaving this
ultimate-
courtroom because you are absolutely violating and trespassing against my rights.
I'm telling you
Good
that
day,
if
ma'am.
you want a
Matt, let's
court-appointed
go.
lawyer, you can apply...
I don't
for
need a
that with
lawyer,
the
ma'am.
administration.
I don't need a lawyer, ma'am.
Okay.
I
You
have
the right-
intellect where I can take care of myself.
I
So I appreciate
wanted to
it.
inform you of that right. So I will get you that date, and it
And
is...
I want to inform you that you are trespassing against my rights, and I will hold you accountable for it.
The next date would be July 27th at 1:30 p.m.
All right, July 27th...
That won't work.
Is there a conflict with that date?
Yes, I'll be going to Sundance.
Okay.
I'll be going to Sundance until hopefully the second week of August.
Then it would be August 17th at 1:30.
August 17th at 1:30 will
Yep.
be the next hearing.
And if that's not a trial by my peers, I won't be here either.
All right, well, it will be a hearing before this court. So you will get that once
I
I
object.
get Ms. Karst's paperwork. So unless there's anything further, that will complete this hearing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Practicing law from the bench.